the meaningful amount depends on how much money you also have, right? And if we look through the past years, a meaningful amount, the amount that was required for calling it meaningful also changed significantly. If we look back 2 cycles, 100 bitcoins was a meaningful amount. Today, 100 bitcoin is, I don't know, like life changing, right? Most people can't afford 100 bitcoin. So in today's aspect, I would say zero point 0.1 Bitcoin can be a meaningful amount of Bitcoin, right? But even that might not be achievable for most people.
Hi everyone. Today I have an esteemed guest. Jose, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. Hi, Hazen. Thank you for having me here. My name is Jose Paul, and I'm the co-founder of Bitmo. At Bitmo, we help people acquire meaningful amount of Bitcoin. That is our mission. We think that everyone deserves a chance at having a meaningful ownership of Bitcoin, and we break down we let you own it up upfront, and then let you pay it down monthly.
Perfect. So for you, what got you into starting on this crypto journey?
My crypto journey had started way back in 2017 when I was an undergrad student. I had to do some economics paper on money and banking. I come from an engineering background, but I had a very keen interest in economics. So I had taken up some electives, and from there, I came across Bitcoin for the first time, and where I was doing a paper on future of money. And the moment I read about it, something just clicked in my head, right? Like I could see instant value in the whole thing. So I went home. Next vacation, I went home. I tried to convince my dad to buy some Bitcoin. He was like, "No, this is a scam." Then I had to put up a fight. I borrowed some money from my dad, bought Ethereum, and then the market cap crashed. Right. So, and that scared the living bits out of me. I went out of the industry for like maybe post my undergrad. I did not. My first job wasn't in crypto. I was working in ed tech for a couple of years, and then I moved back to crypto because there was that itch in me that to come back into this and build in this space. Then I started professionally getting involved in crypto since 2020. I've been a product manager since day one that I've been in crypto. So 2020 was DeFi summer. 2021 we had the NFTs. So 22 we had the crash, right? So I experienced this is my third cycle, 2017 cycle, 21 cycle, now the current cycle, right? I built buildings in metaverse. Like I had like a very colorful experience, I would say, across different segments inside crypto. And then in 2022 I moved to Web3 security. So I was creating an AI agent that could audit smart contracts. Then now that agent is launched in Virtual's ACP as head of product at Quilea Network. So since then, since 24 December, I quit my job. I've been meaning to build something since then. I've had this idea for a bit more for quite some time, and yeah, the stars aligned somewhere in May. I put together a dream team, and now we are here.
So would it be fair to say that you prefer Bitcoin like above other crypto?
Bitcoin is like the index fund, right? If see when people ask me like, "Hey, where should I put money?" Right? I ask them, "How much time do you have for this?" And if they don't have time for this, I tell them just buy Bitcoin and go to sleep, right? Bitcoin is like if we look at, let's say, stock market. Most people don't have enough time to study stock market, right? What do they do instead? They put money into an index fund. That is the best outcome that they will have, right? Similarly, I would say that for entirety of crypto, Bitcoin is index fund. So if you are betting on crypto and you don't have time, just put money into the index fund, right? Just put money into Bitcoin.
This is also advice I give to all my friends and family who are new to the space. Just put it in Bitcoin because they keep asking about all the other things, and also it gives them a chance to like dip their toes into the space and just like get an idea about it. So when you say basically a meaningful amount of Bitcoin, like you're helping people to buy a meaningful amount, is this like different from one person to another, or do you have like a specific system that works for everyone?
So, see, the meaningful amount depends on how much money you also have, right? And if we look through the past years, a meaningful amount, the amount that was required for calling it meaningful also changed significantly. If we look back 2 cycles, 100 bitcoins was a meaningful amount. Today, 100 bitcoin is, I don't know, like life changing, right? Most people can't afford 100 bitcoin. So in today's aspect, I would say zero point 0.1 Bitcoin can be a meaningful amount of Bitcoin, right? But even that might not be achievable for most people. So Our basic plan starts at 0.01 Bitcoin, which makes you a Satoshi millionaire. That is what we started, right?
And eventually, Satoshi might reach a dollar. I mean, with the both of them like going inversely. So Bitcoin is going up and the dollar is going down. So yeah, it's probably
Yeah. So
happen.
ideally, you should be a millionaire at least in Sats, right? So that is the goal that we are pushing. That is the least plan that we are offering, right? And from there, till whatever number that liquidity is available, based on future liquidity that will be available, you'll be able to take out a loan.
When you say about the bit more, like, is there any regulation that blocked that you see it as a blocker, or like, is there any jurisdiction that you prefer for your business?
At this point, in terms of Bitmore, we are not on mainnet yet. We are pre-TG, pre-mainnet, and we are just a project out of Incubase. Incubase was Coinbase's base chain, and Hashdemergen and Odyssey. These three companies came together to run an incubator program for winners from base batches, the hackathon. So out of 900 teams from the hackathon, they selected 80 teams for the Incubase program, and from them we came in third place and won some grants, right? This is the stage at which Bitmore is. At this stage, we are not registered anywhere, even though there is particular jurisdiction that we are looking at, which is friendly for us and which makes sense for us. Our application has one centralized component as well. So, and the provider of that centralized component is going to have an HQ in UAE. So, which makes it more a whole lot of sense for us to build out of UAE. So jurisdiction wise, that's what we have in mind. Now, it's on, rest of the stuff is on chain. So we have
So
the
you will have
guys are.
something like a DAO, or essentially?
Sorry, I didn't catch you.
Do you plan to have something like a DAO, a decentralized organization, basically on the on-chain to manage the system?
So initially, we would decentralize only over time, right? In the early days, I think of a protocol, a brand new protocol, a brand new idea like this coming out, you need fast decisions. If you look at how DAOs perform these days, it is a lot more difficult to come to consensus. There are complications that DAOs presents, right? Now, that's not something that we are ready for as of now, right? So initially, it will not have governance system, but later down the line, as the team matures, as the project matures, as we establish demand for the type of project that we are, we will start letting some of the decisions be taken by the community members. We'll start from the ends, right?
You already have like a roadmap, or haven't yet thought?
Yeah, our current plan is we are having a relook into our architecture that we have created for this. We found during Incubase program, somebody suggested us a different architecture. So we are taking a look at it, and we are expecting our the architecture work to be completed by mid-September, and then an incentivized testnet would start running somewhere early October, and somewhere in Q4, mid Q4 is where we are planning to do a mainnet launch.
So, like regarding the project itself, so when you say helping people to buy crypto, is this something like DCA?
So this is an interesting question, right? Most people think that DCA is the most optimal way in which people could acquire Bitcoin, but that is a lie. Now, why is that a lie? We ran the numbers and we saw that Bitcoin grows so fast that generally buying outright is always better than DCA. It's just that when you're making that purchase, just don't buy at the top, right? You should have the appropriate, if you're buying at the appropriate time, buying outright absolutely DCA any day. So we ran the numbers of this. We posted this in r/Bitcoin, and a lot of people tend to agree with us there. They ran the numbers themselves. And they were like, oh yeah, this makes sense,
I think
right?
even for stocks, the same philosophy follows. Like some people would recommend that if you like a stock, like it's proven already, it's better to just buy it outright than to buy it over time, because as long as you have conviction, obviously there is risk to that, to any method, but yeah, you decide. But I think yeah, it has some merit. This idea is very appealing and has some merit.
So this, see, buying outright is always the best option, but why do people not buy outright? Because they don't have the money to buy outright, right? That's where we come in. So we let you break it down into 12 monthly payments. So you come pay deposit a down payment, right? Put down a down payment of around 25%, 25%, and the rest we will finance. And you have an interest rate for this. And even with this interest rate, we beat the DCA almost 2 out of 3 times. for a 1 year loan, right? We beat DCA 2 out of 3 times buying outright, right? Even with the interest rate and everything. So at 10%, even if the loan is at 10% interest rate, right? So what we let you do is make the down payment so that we know that you're serious about this. And then just one more second.
Okay, so maybe we can get back
I-
about the idea about like buying outright. So right now
right.
for the buying outright, you said that it's 0.1% or is it 0.01? So is it 1% of Bitcoin or 10% of Bitcoin that you target for newbies?
So we are looking at for newbies, depending on what down payment you can make, right? See, we are not doing a KYC check. We are not doing any sorts of checks. If you are able to bring in 25% down payment, then we will help you start with 0.01 Bitcoin from there on, right? It could be 0.01, 0.02, 0.03, whatever. And then zero point 0.1 Bitcoin is what we recommend, right? Because that is what, from our understanding and us running the numbers, we think is a life-changing number of Bitcoin. So that's a number that we recommend, depending on your capacity to bring the down payment and service the monthly payments, right? So you
So
bring the 25% down payment, and then the rest of the 75% is financed and given to you by our lending pool, and that plus the interest rate you're supposed to pay over the next 12 months.
I see. So I'm not into interest payments, but I get the concept and I want to understand it more.
This episode is sponsored by DegreeSign.
CoinExams platform was purpose-built by DegreeSign to be one of the best-performing platforms in the crypto space.
DegreeSign is an agency developing web products with a long experience of building products from scratch for maximum performance and stability.
Start today. Just email make@degreesign.com.
So how about the risk of someone putting the down payment, but then they take the crypto and yeah, it's very hard to take back? Or do you keep the crypto in custody until the full payment is complete?
That's a good question. So obviously, if this is crypto, and if you give 25% and then give full control, full custody to somebody, they'll just run away with it and not pay you back, right? So what the kind of model that we have is, we have an escrow, right? So think of it like a home loan, right? You go take a home loan with the bank. What happens? You make a down payment, bank gives you the rest of the money. You can live in the house, you can give the house for rent and earn that rent belongs to you, but technically the house belongs to the bank, right? Till you pay it off, right? At any point, you're allowed to sell the house elsewhere, right? It is a very similar idea with us. You can make a down payment, you make monthly payments, and till the monthly payments are completed, it's kept in an escrow. Now, while it is in escrow, you are still earning yield on the Bitcoin, one, right? You're earning yield on the full Bitcoin, actually. It's not even like you earn yield only on the Bitcoin that you paid for. You earn a yield on the finance part of the Bitcoin as well. Then you can make monthly payments, and once you made the full payment, it can be released. But let's say at any point you want to sell your Bitcoin, like let's say you're a lucky guy, you bought it at the right time, and now Bitcoin price is doubled. So what we'll do is we'll take a part of the Bitcoin, sell it in the market so that whatever is the obligation to our lenders is completed, and then the rest of the Bitcoin can come to you.
Fascinating. So if someone, for example, finishes half of the payments and then it doubles, they could basically walk away with
Yeah.
a profit. Even very interesting.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, I mean it's a fascinating space. So how about for Ethereum and other major crypto? Do you plan something similar?
So as of now, we are not building for any other crypto because there are a lot of moving parts which we haven't actually discussed in this call itself. Like, we talked about what happens when Bitcoin price goes up, but we haven't talked about what happens when Bitcoin price goes down, right? Normally, all applications does liquidations, and that's why most crypto loans are over collateralized. If you think about this is an under collateralized loan, right? Because you're bringing only 25% of the loan, and the rest is being financed to you. Normally, when you go to, let's say, an Aave or a Compound, you bring in $100 and get $66 loan. Here, you're bringing 25 and you're getting 75. So that creates its own complex mechanisms that we need to, and other complex financial instruments that we need to involve to make such a system work. Now, that kind of liquidity today is not available for such kind of complex financial instruments for other crypto as of today. And if you look at it, Bitcoin is only cryptocurrency where this makes sense also, because this is the only coin where 99% of all holders are in profit.
Regarding that, also like
Yeah.
back to the Bitcoin asset itself, the escrow, you mentioned the escrow. So when you deal with that transactions, is it done using, like, for example, wrapped Bitcoin or another derivative, or is it actually Bitcoin on chain or layer one? Does it move to an escrow account, or is it just like a paper trail?
So this happens on chain in a Bitcoin. We are building on two L2s. One is on a Bitcoin L2 called Citria, and another one is on Base. So Base has a Coinbase BTC CBBTC wrapper. So we'll be using that. And on Citria, they have their own wrapped BTC as well. So, but at the end of the day, when the loan is complete, we will let you access the Bitcoin on Bitcoin chain if you want.
I see.
So we're just using the other rails
But
because it is difficult to build on Bitcoin a solution like
like,
this.
let's say, for example, someone puts into 25%, would they see the 0.1 Bitcoin moving to a certain address, and maybe they will have like the transaction to trace it and see that it's in escrow, or how does it?
All of it is happening on chain. It's just that it will be happening not on Bitcoin L1.
I see. But is the user like I understand now about this, but how about from the user side? Do you also share and the user interface allow them to access and have visibility on the movement of these funds?
Absolutely. We aim to be as transparent as possible with the movement of funds, and also about the kind of risks involved in such a strategy as well, right? So we want our users to win, right? As a protocol, you win when your users win, right? So we aim to be as transparent as possible.
And for now, like, how do you see your users? Are they mostly actually newbies, like people new to the space, or are they people who are veteran but maybe don't have the time and or want to maybe maximize their reward?
So the fascinating thing about what we've understood about our users through our user interviews is mostly that these are people who've been in crypto for a while generally, and they've been trading alts for a very long time and just continuously losing money, taking bad trades after bad trades after bad trades. Like, there's a lot of people in crypto doing that.
Yeah.
They make little money here, then lose a lot of money there, right? And for every 1,000x that you see, there is a lot of minus 99.99% that is happening in crypto. So whereas they have also seeing people who are just holding Bitcoin win every cycle. So it's those people who's been in crypto for a while, who's been playing on the alt casino for a while, but now they understand why they should own some piece of Bitcoin right now. Those are the people that we are going after initially. At a later point, we also think that even DAO treasuries could add Bitcoin into their treasury using their revenues with a system like this.
I see. So you mentioned about the centralization versus the decentralization. So you do envision this in the future, maybe a fully decentralized system working on its own, maybe through smart contracts or something, since it's already on L2s?
There is the centralized component that we have inside our application. The moment a decentralized option for that is available with us, we will switch. So that single component is the only thing that is centralized inside our application. And the moment it is available for us to do, it's a derivative that is not available off chain on chain, right? It only is available inside some centralized platform. So the moment some decentralized application comes up with the sufficient amount of liquidity for such kind of a product, we will immediately switch.
And how do you deal with the on-ramping? Because a lot of apps have issue, like in DeFi, they are very good working with other crypto, but it's very hard for them to on-ramp people. So how do you deal with this issue?
Like I said earlier, the kind of people that we are going after are people who are already in crypto. So they already know how to bring the money that to crypto rails. The stage at which the project is right now, we are not looking at like on-ramming partners, piloting our product with just crypto rails. And later on, maybe once if this catches on, then we will have partnerships with cards. How we envision this in the end is, to be honest, like a payment that you can put on your credit card, right? Like maybe these days you can see that Visa and MetaMask is working together, or Mastercard and MetaMask is working together for, or maybe cards like Cast, right? There are crypto cards, so many of these crypto cards these days. So eventually we envision this to be as something that it can be paid through a card like that, but we are not there today, right? As a product also, we are not there today. We have much bigger fish to fry, I would say. Different priorities right now. The priority is to get the product out there And once we have it out there, then we'll smoothen out these UX problems.
Fascinating. So, how do people find you?
Oh, on Twitter. Just come to Twitter. It's Bitmore_BTC, BITMOR_BTC. And we are also on the Base app. You can find us on at Bitmore, or if you want our base handle, it is bitmore.base.eth. So these are the places in which you can find us most active. Come talk to us, join our waitlist. If you join our waitlist, you get some special goodies that once you join, you'll get to see what it is.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you so much for your time today, Jose. And hope you have a nice day.
Yeah, thank you, Hassan. Thank you for having me.